in real quick. No.
Hi, good morning, everybody. We have Sharon here from Geisinger to give us a carrier connection. We've had about 1 to 3 every week this week in March. So I hope you've been enjoying them. And just looking a little forward, we have some webinars going on in April on how to build your business and your downlines and set up your LLC. So I hope you sign up and join us for those. But without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Sharon to talk about Geisinger.
Very good. Good morning, everybody. We appreciate the opportunity to talk with you today and want to thank URL for the invitation. So what we're going to do today is we're going to go over some of the key selling points for Geisinger Health Plan, what helps separate us in the market from our competitors, and answer some questions on some topics that we find frequently coming through us and through our broker care team. So with that, I'm going to go to the next slide. And Geisinger Health Plan has 3 broker managers, myself, Sharon Musser, who I handle our western part of the state. So I handle from Danville all the way to the Ohio border. Jacob, he handles from Danville all the way to New Jersey, New York. And then our newest broker manager, Paul Bernstein, he handles the 5-county Philly area. So this is our contact information. If you have questions regarding Geisinger and any, questions, issues, concerns that may arise, feel free to reach out to any of us at any time. With that, I'm going to welcome Jay, and Jay's going to cover the network.
Good morning, everyone. Not sure. Can you hear me? Are we good, Sharon?
Yep, we can hear you.
Perfect. Thank you. So a little bit about our network here with Geisinger. There's always a little bit of misconception or misunderstanding. A lot of people believe Geisinger that we have the hospitals, we have the health system, we have Wilkes-Barre, we have Danville, we have other locations, and those are primarily the ones that off the top of people's mind, they believe that's where they're going to go. Well, one of the things that I really enjoy sharing is that our network is much more vast than that. When you look at our contracted network, we have literally over 100 participating hospitals covering all areas of not only the state, but the Northeast region. And there are also, with that, an additional over 29,000 providers with that. So that is something that I really enjoy sharing. It was something for myself when I came here to Geisinger. That was even a misconception there. We're going to go over a later slide that really shows more detail of that. And as we continue to grow across the state, this is something really interesting. It comes in our All Plans brochure. It is in our quick reference guide. We share that, and sometimes we don't do a great job in really showing the vast part of our network. So
here we go.
Right there, as Sharon was pointing it out, it's a lot more than what our Geisinger network is, from the central to the southern, western, and even others outside of the state, which we'll be happy to share and point out again in our All Plans brochure, as well as the quick reference guide.
Right. And to go off of that, Geisinger for 2022 last year was awarded the state Medicaid contract. So we added several counties to our additional existing footprint. So that's when you look at Geisinger as a whole as a regional carrier, and you think, goodness, they're mostly south or central, northeast PA carrier. And then you're looking at this map saying, oh my goodness, you go all the way to Pittsburgh, and you have providers all the way out in the western region of the state. And so that's something to just make sure that as you're looking through the material and know that, yes, we are going almost statewide.
Yes. And also some of the specialty hospitals, if you take notes under southeastern PA, you have Fox Chase Cancer. In the southern region, from Thomas Jefferson to the Lehigh Valley. There's specialty hospitals as well that are included. And you'll notice a lot of other carriers on their contractor network side don't have access to those. And that is something that we are proud of with our network.
Absolutely. So the next item that comes up, and it comes up a lot as of late, is our dental network and out of network for dental. So our current dental network provider is Skygen. So a less known provider than a Delta Dental per se, but Skygen is a good provider from a national footprint standpoint. But sometimes we have a situation where somebody's going to a dentist and they don't participate with Skygen, or the dentist doesn't take insurance at all. And up until last year, we had a little different scenario. CMS decided last April to come out and change that ruling and allowed those ancillary benefits to no longer be housed under the Medicaid portion of it. So in doing that, Medicare portion of it. So in doing that, it allowed us and the carriers to open up that dental network to allow us to reimburse for claims, dental claims that are outside of the network. So this allowed our members to be able to utilize and still use dentists that they have been using for years or that don't participate, but still take advantage of their dental benefit and get reimbursed for those claims. So how does it work? If somebody's using a Skygen dentist, that is usually the easiest route of care. They'll gain the most out of that $1,000 benefit that they have if they're in the preferred enhanced PPO plan. But what it does is it stretches their dollar further. So the dental benefit that they have, will see the most value in using a Skygen provider. But if not, and somebody's using an out-of-network dentist, what will happen is one of three things for a claim submission. Geisinger, on the back of the member cards this year, what we did is we issued new member cards to everybody. And on the back of the card, we put an out-of-network claims or out-of-network dental claims. So all the dentist needs to do is submit the claim to Geisinger on behalf of the member. So if the dentist is willing to do that, they send the claim directly to us. We will then reimburse the dentist the amount up to that dental benefit allowed amount for those dental services. Also, if the dentist says, I'm not interested in doing that, the member can self-submit the claim as well. So, they will then be able to pay the provider for those claims and then be able to submit the claim information directly to Geisinger for reimbursement. So they'll have access to that as well. The other thing is, there is a list of benefits that the members are, falling under. So if somebody says, do you cover dentures? Yes, dentures are. Oh, thanks, Tammy. Dentures are part of the dental benefit. So that is something that, we get asked a lot with the reimbursement. But we also had this week, our extractions covered. And simple extractions are covered, but ones that are surgical are not. So we want to make sure that, if somebody is going for additional dental services, they may want to give a call into member services and just verify what benefits are covered under that dental. And what aren't, so they're aware of what potentially could be out of pocket for them. On to the next. The other things that we hear a lot about is our OTC card and our Flex card. The Flex card only applies to those that are in the preferred enhanced plan. So we'll see that with the Flex card. The Flex cards, they have a $500 limit on them. And what they're used for is they're used to enhance those ancillary benefits. So they're used to enhance the dental, the vision, and the hearing benefit. So it gives the member an additional $500 to use towards that benefit. So if somebody has maybe a root canal coming up and it's $1,200 and they use that $1,000 benefit on the preferred enhanced for that dental service, but that extra $250 is out there, they can use that Flex card to pay for that additional service. And it's a nice opportunity for those members to be able to use services or have additional coverage of services and use it at their discretion. However, what if they lose the card or they didn't get the card? Sometimes the mailings come in a blank white envelope and they tend to look like junk mail. In our house, junk mail, if it sniffs like junk mail, it usually is gone. And so we've had members that have said, I never got my card, but I did get all of my other cards. Well, then we know we have the right address. And what we need to do is call into member services and say, I didn't get my flex card. Can I have a new one? And what they will do is they will terminate the old card and they will issue a new card. It usually takes 7 to 10 days to arrive to those members. The members will need to activate that card. It is a credit card. It is a Visa card. So they will need to call in and activate it like they would to a personal card. And that is also why it is important that, if they get it, they do activate it prior to it being used. But also if they do lose it, they need to call and report that it is lost. So that way we can shut it off and make sure that claims aren't being submitted not by them. So that is something that we want to make sure the members are aware of. Also, reimbursement. Let's say you go to your dentist and your dentist is saying, this flex card is, for whatever reason, I forgot to bring it with me when I was at the dentist and I paid with my other personal card, but I really wanted to use that money off of that Visa card. We can reimburse you from that card. So you'll need to give a call into member services, let them know of what happened, and then we will reimburse the member up to that $500 allowed amount. And what will happen is the deduction will come off of the card. So another great example, maybe they've gone and picked up eyeglasses and it was $250 and they used their personal Visa to do that, or MasterCard or cash, and they want to reimburse it, but they forgot the card. We will reimburse them up to that allowed amount and then deduct that portion off of that. So now we're going to talk about OTC cards and how that is unique for Geisinger and what differentiates us from other carriers. Geisinger took the stance of, we want our members to be able to utilize the OTC card to the best that they want. So what that means is they don't need to use a catalog to purchase or utilize that OTC benefit. They can go to any Walmart, Target, Rite Aid, CVS, grocery store, Weis Market, Giant, Wegmans, and they can use that OTC benefit just as if they were purchasing, their groceries or other items. And what will happen is the items that they have in that, when they go to checkout, those OTC card items will come off of the card, and any items that don't pertain to the OTC benefit, the member then will be responsible to pay for in another form. So how that is helpful is if you have somebody that really likes a certain type of brand or a certain quantity limit, and would, rather go and utilize the benefit in that way, it gives them the freedom to do that. A great example, my in-laws have Geisinger. My mother-in-law is very, very adamant about using a certain brand vitamin. And she waits for Rite Aid to have a sale and she'll go get a buy one, get one free. And then the next month she'll go and use it at Target and she'll be able to purchase the Up and Up brand of ibuprofen, because that to her is less important than that name brand vitamin. So it really gives the members the freedom to use it how they see fit. For those that are used to a catalog, we do issue a catalog. They can request one from member services, but most importantly, it just gives them that freedom to go about their day. A lot of seniors will utilize going to the store as an opportunity to be out and engage in public, and they use it as an opportunity to be out and about. So we enjoy that. Again, the OTC card comes in a blank white envelope, so they want to take a peek at that. If they feel like they didn't get one, let us know. And then if they have questions, they also need to activate that card as well. So we're going to stop here for a quick second and just pause. Are there any questions on those topics that we quickly covered? Anybody have anything that they want further detail on? I'll give it a couple minutes. see if there's a chat function, or if you want to type it into the chat.
Sharon, just to add to the around the OTC card, just a reminder to the group as well, that is a monthly benefit.
Yep.
So it is not where maybe some other carriers do quarterly. Ours is a monthly benefit. It does not roll over. It's a user to lose it benefit.
Correct. And the other thing about the Flex card, that is also a yearly annual benefit. It does not roll over. So members will need to utilize that. They do have the full 12 months to utilize that benefit as well. The other thing just to mention about the Flex card that we have seen, it will stop you if you are attempting to use it at a vendor that does not fit one of the models of the hearing, vision, or dental. It will not let you purchase gas. It will not let you purchase, what did we have, Jay? Somebody attempted to use it at Burger King.
So Burger King or any hair
won't work
salon
there either. But just in case, if anybody has any questions, please let us know. We're happy to help assist with that.
Yeah, some other challenges that have actually arose as well. There are actually a few Walmarts that it will not work at the Vision Center. And unfortunately, there's a couple that it will. But in general, we've seen that it does not. Walmart's response back to us was they were not willing to change their credit card system. It was showing up as a retail purchase. So you could have been paying for your glasses and they don't know if you're buying a TV. And ironically, my father was the first one to discover this at the Buckhorn Walmart when it first came out, as he went to pick up his glasses. So that was a fun conversation, but it also helped us learn what the challenges are, and it was just simply the way it was being swiped is showing as a retail purchase.
Very
So
good.
if any of your members would ever incur an area that it is not working, please pass that on to us. We will definitely chase that down if need be.
Very good. Well, if nobody has any questions, we'll keep moving on here. Here we go. All right.
You ready for me on this, Sharon?
I am. Yep.
So this is our hearing vendor. You are seeing the name correctly. It is Birdsong. They're actually located in Jacksonville, Florida. They actually acquired the previous vendor that we had used before, and the name's escaping me. I tried looking it up and I missing, but it is it's a large hearing vendor. They have a sizable network, and depending on the plan you have with us will really determine the amount of hearing coverage and hearing aid coverage. We all know some people will shop year to year on which gives the most in hearing. Right now, it really varies plan to plan. If you have a specific plan or a specific benefit you're looking for, we can help dive into that a little bit more and help track down the network and the providers. It's an ever-changing benefit. We know that. We're aware, and we're probably going to tweak and change ours in the coming years as needed, but it is also an expensive benefit that pops up as well.
Very good. Silver and Fit. So for some of our plans, members have access to our Silver and Fit fitness benefit. And Silver and Fit is the vendor that we utilize to have them gain access to that. Depending on the benefit, they either have an annual copay or a 3-month copay. But the reason I wanted to talk about this is there's more additional services through Silver and Fit that the members will have access to, other than just your typical gym fitness center membership. One of the things that I found really, really interesting were home fitness classes. So if somebody is wanting to, get back out there, but isn't a gym environment can be overwhelming to those that aren't there yet. And, being at home and being able to do it at your leisure, they can log on to any of the home fitness courses or classes that Silver and Fit offers, and they can do them in the privacy of their own home. So that is something that, I wish more members knew and understood that they can do. Not aggressive as like a Beachbody, but they have so many great, fantastic opportunities to utilize those home fitness courses and do a multitude of exercises, from a yoga to a Pilates to chair fitness classes to light weights, and on throughout some additional options. There's also different groups that they can join. So if somebody's interested in joining like a walking group or like a slow running group or even a boot camp type of group, they'll have access to join on and partner with people all over the country that are also using Silver and Fit. And they can set different challenges, and monthly they do opportunities to do different fitness challenges and walking challenges and different milestones. It's really neat opportunity for them to dive into this benefit a little deeper and see exactly what else they have. The other thing that intrigued me that I thought was a great additional resource that is not well identified enough as well is they have access to fitness kits. Each member has access to once a year fitness kit. They're $10. And they can pick from anything from a swimming kit where, they'll send you goggles and a kickboard and different types of aquatic aids to help with swimming, to a yoga benefit, and they'll have a yoga mat and a yoga block. And then anybody who's interested in a walking group or a running group, you can select between either a Fitbit or a Garmin and be able to then collect that watch and set that up to track all of the activity that you're looking to do within those kits. So again, they're $10. You can get them through the Silver and Fit website, which we have listed here below. And those are yearly kits that you can purchase. So, I know I said to my in-laws, I want to know how much you're walking. My mother-in-law works at the local grocery store in the flower shop. And so she walks back and forth all the time. And so we logged in and we got her a Garmin. And then my father-in-law was jealous of her watch, so he got the Fitbit. And now we're tracking them maybe a little more than they want to be tracked. But they're having a lot of fun with that. And this is a great benefit. Again, some of the Medicare products have the Silver and Fit benefit. And so these are just some additional enhancements that the members will have access to. We have a question, Jay, about birdsong. Let me see if I can go in here. What's the prevalence of birdsong in Northeast PA? So birdsong, I can answer this a little bit. Birdsong partnered with AudioNet. So Birdsong purchased AudioNet networks. So Birdsong is just a larger national network of providers, and they purchased AudioNet. So all of AudioNet's providers are included in the Birdsong network as well. Does that help answer your question? Let's see.
Or if there's a specific county you're looking for in Northeast PA or an area, I could look that up and share that.
Very good. Okay. All right, moving on. Our formulary, Wayne County.
Yes, our formulary, one of the things, again, pointing out the differences of how the perception around the Geisinger, the formulary is something that, first off, it's a very simplified formulary, meaning it's the same across all plans that we have. The tier levels, as you'll see, tier 1s and 2s are zero copay on all plans. We have the mail order option or the local pharmacy. We cover most, if not all, of the mom and pops you're going to see. The only chain that we seem to be as an organization back and forth on are Walgreens. However, the interesting part is the OTC card is used and accepted at Walgreens. However, the prescription plan does not work at Walgreens currently. 2 years ago it did, and these last 2 years it has not. So we'll see where next year leads us. Then on the other side, as we kind of move up this slide, is the insulin saver model for all diabetics. We were one of the first carriers to do this. I believe this was 2 years ago, before it was a requirement. And this is on all of our plans, where this is really a potential life-saving and can really make a difference for a potential client who is one of your clients who is struggling with maybe copays, coverage gaps, donut holes. For the list of insulins we have that we cover in our formulary, they're covered at a $35 copay. And that is per prescription on those daily use. And that is for the entire year, regardless of whether or not they hit the coverage gap or donut hole. So that's $35 to where they're not going to get that surprise monthly expense of all of a sudden it going up to $200 or even higher. Then to even make that a better option is that if they are willing to use our mail order system, they can actually receive a 3-month supply at $52.50 for that daily use insulin. That's tremendous when you're talking about being able to receive that at that low cost, and that will not change once they've hit the coverage gap or donut hole. And then, it's not really a formulary item, but along the same lines of the diabetics, we understand now a lot of people are moving away from more of a daily use insulin and going to the continuous pump. We'll actually cover that at a 5% coinsurance as well. So that is another great option of where we've really stepped up in this market. And where some other carriers may have this on a plan or two, this is on every one of our plans. So you don't have to wonder and pick and choose. If you meet someone who is a diabetic that may have some concerns, you don't have to look for the specific plan that we may work for them. It's actually all options. So if you haven't seen that or been able to take notice, definitely take a look at that. It is truly a big savings and potentially some life altering, where you can really make a difference in someone's life with this. Any questions on that formulary or even the insulin or even mail order? Our mail order again does come out of Elysburg. If you know where Knoebels, it's just down the street. So it's coming out of just about the center of the state. We're not bringing it in from another part of the country. Average turnaround once they receive a clean script is about 2 to 3 days till it's shipped.
Yep. Okay. Our broker care team. So Geisinger has, obviously the three of us, you have access to the three of us at any time, but we have a broker care team that is answered in the Northeast PA. It's a team of 4 people. They are dedicated just to answer your calls and questions that you may have. They are not part of member services or a member service call. So if somebody has a question about a claim, obviously they need to call member services, but the broker care team is dedicated and designed just for the brokers. So again, as we mentioned, there's only 4 of them, and they are working Monday through Friday from 8 to 5:30. That's their 800 number, but you can utilize them when you have questions about an application. Maybe you're sitting with somebody that may be dual eligible, but you're not sure. So you can call into them and they can look and see exactly, where that member sits and help assist with enrollment questions. Help me, Jay. Anything else that you need supplies and collateral, they can help order it for you. They are really the eyes and the ears, and they are wonderful to work with. If you've not had the opportunity to work with them, they really are. They make us look really, really good. So we appreciate all the hard work that they do. And again, they're right here in Pennsylvania. All 4 of them are up in the Northeast area.
Yes, and even if it would be a scenario where you call into the broker care team, we are all well connected. If there would be a question and maybe they can't answer it or aren't completely insured, because most of them are not licensed per se, but they are experts on our products, but they can also connect you to one of us. If you would have a question, feel free to ask them, can you just connect me over to Sharon, to Jay, to Paul? We're more than willing to do that. They'll send us a message. If we're available, we'll pop right over and be able to answer that as well. So we do, where they work great as a team together, we're an extension of that team, and they're an extension of us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What I'd like to do now is pause for a second and bring Paul Bernstein in. I wanted him to introduce himself and just, there he is.
Thanks for having me. I took a look at the attendee list, and I do recognize some names. My name is Paul Bernstein. I just started with Geisinger a couple weeks ago, and my purpose is really to represent the company and here in the 5-county Philadelphia market. I have worked with URL before. I'm sure some of you, I know, again, some of your names look familiar to me. I'm not as precise at the moment on the benefits that Jay and Sharon know so well, but one thing I do know really well is the 5-county Philadelphia market. So, I just wanted to tell you to, keep an eye out for myself and more, I'll call it action from us in the 5-county Philadelphia market. You may not even know that we offer benefits on the dual eligible side and your regular MA, but keep an eye out. You'll certainly hear more and see more of a ramp up as we approach towards the summer. If you have any questions about network and those type of things, and Jay hit it earlier, it's not, I know Geisinger has such a great name up north, but we have other hospitals and such down here. So let me be the guide now, and especially as we hit the summer and we make some plans for the upcoming open enrollment. And one thing I do know and I love here is I love creating partnerships with brokers here. At 5-county Philly is a really big place, and you have to be very specific and focus on little areas, whether it's around a particular hospital system or a particular demographic and ethnic group. So, just keep an eye out. If you wanted to have questions about where Geisinger is now, feel free to reach out to me. I'll type my phone number up on the chat, and I look forward to working with many of you. And please pass off to your friends or fellow brokers who are already here that I am here, and I look forward to working with them in Geisinger. So thanks, Sharon. Thanks for.
Very good. We're so excited to have Paul here. So we're like the three amigos. So it's been a lot of fun to have our team complete. So what's coming? What are you going to see from Geisinger here in the next couple of months? So we're working on our 2024 products right now. We have actively pushed out our broker portal. That has been a long-waited process and plan, and there's been a lot of work behind the scenes. It's both and ready for all lines of business, commercial, individual, and Medicare. We are doing a 5-system rollout. So some of you may have received an email encouraging you to log in. Some may have not. We are doing our best to push those emails along faster because of the magnitude of the amount of brokers that were onboarding into that broker portal. At a time, we did choose to do a five phase rollout just to try to not overwhelm and crash the system. We wanted to make sure that we could handle the volume coming in. So please be on the lookout for that. If you haven't gotten it yet and you want access now and you don't want to wait, please reach out to myself, Paul, or Jay, and we can help elevate that. But if you have received it, let us know. Let us know what your thoughts are. There are some tools that are to be coming specifically for the Medicare side. The book of business function is there. It is currently turned off. We are turning it on this summer. We're just making sure that the data is correct before it is turned on. So the nice thing about the broker portal that you're going to have access to is it's going to be a one-stop function for Geisinger. From a broker standpoint, you're going to be able to access Connecture for online enrollments. You're going to be able to access our Litmo site for training, product training, and additional link to AHIP for that certification when that's needing to come out. You're also going to be able to order collateral. So when you need additional sales kits and materials, there also is a document library. So when you're looking for an EOC or an ANOC or benefit information, or maybe you really want that OTC flyer that we send out to the members, you'd like to have a copy of it, it's going to be housed in that document library. And the other really neat function is we have it on there. It's called Create a Case. What that is it's like sending an urgent email or elevating an issue that you may have. And what that does is when you send it through the broker portal, it identifies it by a number, and then it sends it directly to the correct team. So if, you have a commissions question, it'll go right to finance, and we'll have they'll be able to answer it. Most importantly, we'll be able to keep track and record of it. If somebody's out of the office, somebody else that's in the office can go ahead and pick that up and start working on that case. The other really unique thing about the cases and collateral ordering is you're able to follow them or unfollow them. So if you have an issue that you want to know is being worked on and want to keep tabs on, there's a little button called follow. You click that. Every time somebody picks up the email or moves the issue through the process, you will be notified what's been going on and what's happening and where it is in the process. With that being said, if you're getting the emails and you're like, why is Geisinger telling me every time they touch this? Go in and click unfollow, and then we will leave you alone with that, and then you'll get the final outcome. So that's the broker portal. We're really excited. We'd like everybody to be in by June for that. And the reason being is we'd like you to be familiar with it before AEP rolls around and it's super busy and you have some familiarity with that. We're going to be working on more broker-centered events. Obviously, we work directly with URL and the events. So like this morning, we have this fantastic opportunity. We're going to be looking to do some additional events with them as well in the coming months. And then our expansion into new counties. Obviously, we've got Paul in 5-county Philly, which is exciting. And I'm driving to almost Ohio and going all the way through Erie, all the way down through Pittsburgh. So that is really exciting. And we're excited for that expansion. And for the fun of today, we decided to bring on a special guest. So I'm going to introduce him next. His name is Craig Shively, and Craig has worked with Geisinger for a long, long time. He's the director of our individual market, and we thought that this topic specifically would be really, really important to touch base on, since it is on top of mind for a lot of us at Current. So Craig, welcome, and I'll let you take it away.
Awesome. Thank you, Sharon. Good morning, everybody. I'd first like to start just by saying thank you. I don't know how many on this call. I know many of you are selling Medicare, and you run across some of my business once in a while in the marketplace. So I just want to say thank you for your efforts and partnership there. We have grown our broker distribution, almost doubled, gone from 18% to almost close to 33%, excuse me, of our total distribution is through brokers, and you guys are all a big part of that. So we appreciate the partnership. I just want to talk a little bit about the public health emergency and sort of the ending of that. CMS allowed a lot of these state Medicaid recipients continuous coverage through the public health emergency. And so what they did was they said, you can stay on and we won't look at your income to redetermine your eligibility. So that is going away, and you're going to hear a lot about that over the next year, beginning April 1st. So for GHP, we're going to have about 111,000 members at risk. And that just means that our goal is to keep them on Medicaid, but if we need to reach out to them to make sure that they update their income and they are deemed eligible. And if they're not, get them to the appropriate place, meaning marketplace. So about 75,000 of those are adults. The rest will be kids, and we will send them to CHIP as appropriate. So not only is DHS working on communication to these folks, but we're also going to do outreach as well. We've contacted a third party, and their job is to call these folks being experts on Medicaid and help them navigate through the redetermination process and ultimately, hopefully, keep them on Medicaid. Members can renew either by mail or in person at their local county assistance office, which I'm sure you know, to complete the renewal. They can go online to the Compass website, which is dhs.pa.gov, or they can go by phone. And I can leave all this stuff with Sharon, these talking points, and we can forward to the group if necessary, because there's a lot of information. The redetermination may also affect dual eligible members enrolled in the Secure RX plans. So these members will receive similar outreach from DHS and GHP, and government programs has an existing process in place to assist these members if they lose their Medicaid eligibility. And I think that we have about 2,000 members that are at risk in that category. So again, there'll be buzz around this. We're prepared for it. We've sought out a third-party vendor to help us, licensed vendor to help us with overflow in our individual call center. But if you need anything, feel free to reach out. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me directly or Sharon. The other thing I would say is there's a bigger buzz in the market about the ICHRAs or individual coverage HRAs. And I just want to let this group know, and there'll be more to come on this, but they're gaining popularity because the individual plans are becoming cheaper than the group plans. And there's a lot of advantages for an employer to offer these ICHRAs to their employees. You know, one is a flexibility of choice, and two, they get a significant tax break. So I just wanted to let this group know that we are prepared to receive ICHRAs. We've partnered somewhat with one of the software platforms in Take Command. And what they do is they go in and help the employer navigate through the difficulties of ICHRA and all the regulations, but they also set up software, shopping software, and they also set up the payment piece to the carrier, which was a major headache for the employer to get the money to the employee, to get the money to the carrier. So we are working through that again, but we're prepared to receive those. So if you have a group or you talk to anybody that's on an ICHRA or needs an ICHRA, you can send them our way for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's I think that's it. There's a lot to cover, but I think I hit the the main points.
We wanted Craig to just talk about that redetermination because again, it's a hot topic right now. It's coming. You know, we definitely wanted to make sure. We've had several questions from the Medicare broker population about it, so we just thought it may be a topic that you would find helpful. So
yeah, and it's gonna start April 1st, and it's gonna go monthly for a year. So I think statewide, it's a crazy number of, I think, 46,000 a month would be redetermined. Now, all those people aren't going to be scattered and disrupted, but there's a lot of communication around, updating income and making sure that you are indeed eligible for Medicaid. And if you're not, we need to get to the right place. So,
yeah. Yeah, and we have lots of different tools to help assist with that. So very good. So with that, we're done. So thank you very much. I want to leave time for questions. If anybody has anything for any of us, we're happy to answer that now. If anybody has anything, and if not, we can give you time back in your day, but definitely wanted to leave time to have an open forum for all of you to get any questions you may have answered. Give everybody some time. Okay. Well, if you have anything, thank you for your time this morning. Thank you for your attention. Let Christy at URL know. Again, we thank URL for the opportunity to get in front of you here this morning and just share some of our points that we see on a daily that come across our desk. And again, we appreciate your partnership and your support in the market. Look forward to working with you and seeing how we can make it easier for you all in the months to come. So it's raining here. I'm in State College. It's raining here. I wish it was nice, and they say spring's coming. So we'll keep our fingers crossed for that. But everybody have a great rest of your day and take care.
Yep. Thank you, everyone.